and also very gambits up to speed so that you can then multiple thread and say, where was I? And then backtrack. I'll explain that when you remind me about that, all right? You got a few things to remind me now. Let's backtrack to, let's see here. Oh yeah, emotional circuitry. I cry. I cried when my girlfriend broke up with me. I actually broke up with her because she was driving me crazy. Her name was Katya in the book The Game. And I discovered that because I had heard her having sex with one of my best buds, and I even gave him permission, that's the truth, because we were living in a pickup house, you know? It was a weird environment, but I loved her very much, I really did. She was a yahoo, but I loved her still. And so when I heard her having sex with someone, and the reason that happened is because I brought a girl home. So she just went, I'm gonna have sex with the first person, you know, and get back at me, and it got back at me. What I didn't know is that the grieving process triggered. We have simple brains. Our brains are simple. There are about, I'm gonna say 300 or so separate organelles, separate circuits of the brain. Every circuit, every emotion that you can possibly have exists with a purpose. It's evolutionarily designed, just as the complexity of your eye is so absolutely brilliant, so is your behavioral system. So when I meet a woman, I can't help but marvel at the beauty of her behavioral system, for everything that comes out of her mouth is not what she means. They're sound bites. Everything that comes out of a woman's mouth is a sound bite where she's trying to evoke a response from you. When a girl says fuck off to you, for instance, she isn't meaning fuck off. It's just a sound bite she's used in the past, because it's worked in the past, to get a result, because she presumes you're the next guy, right? Every girl is going to give you these shit tests. So from now on, we have to be the tribal leader, and we treat them like the little girls that they are. That's what I learned by doing my birthday party magic shows. In episode 3 of the show that you will be seeing, I bring my students to a library filled with children. Because if you can't control a group of kids, you can't control a group of adults, right? It's a lot of education in interacting with a whole myriad of people. Here's my point. My grieving process triggered. I grieved as well when my father passed away. My dad passed away about 4.5 years ago. We all, guess what, gentlemen? I'm sure at some point you're gonna have to go through that too if you haven't already. Any commonalities? Have you ever had any parents die? Anyone so far? You have? What happened?
I passed away in Africa.
In Africa? Yeah. Where in Central?
Yeah, Eritrea, next to Ethiopia.
Yeah? Because of the skirmishes?
No, yeah, heart attack.
Heart attack? How old was he?
58.
Good enough. He lived a good life. And you're here. And you're the reason he existed. My dad lived to 67, drank, smoked. I'm smoking now. Stupid, right? But I didn't drink, smoke, or take drugs for 32.5 years. I was afraid of it. But now, the cigarette smoking thing, there is a lot of micro-calibration that takes place between a man and a woman with a cigarette. You know, there's some girls who smoke. You can take the cigarette from her, take a puff, hand it back, see if she accepts that. Wow, you can really game between two people by cigarette smoking. That's kind of how I really got into it, to be honest. I'm gonna have to quit. So you'll see me, when we have a break time, and we'll do that shortly, you know, you'll see me have a smoke, so forgive me for that. So I understand the grieving process, all right? And my grieving process triggered the same way it was with my dad, was the same way it was with when I broke up with my girl. It's the same circuit. As far as I'm concerned, there's no difference. So the whole reason for bringing this up is When you get into this game, gentlemen, you are going to go through that grieving process. You're going to want to kill yourself. You're going to want to, man, it is bad. It is shitty. And you are a robot. And you're going to have that clarity at the same time of knowing, I'm crying, why am I crying? She's not even dead. She's just fucking someone else. And then it goes away and you're like, fuck, that's weird. And then, 10, 15 minutes, I'm crying again. Now everyone thinks I'm a weirdo, right? And it's all worth it. I promise you, it is so worth it. It is worth it. Women are worth it. It's worth the pain. You're going to go through some pain, gentlemen. You're going to go through some pain. The best way through it is there you are, crying, crying, crying. And the only way out is the next girl. That's the last thing that's going to be on your mind, because you're like, I don't want to go out. And that's why you're going to need to, right now, before you get into the game, build good social alignments, build some good buddies. Meet each other, man. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same fucking age. We're all traveling around. Let's crash on each other's couches, man. Let's get to know each other. We're all in the same boat. We're all going to go out tonight. We're going to be building a life for ourselves. There are a whole series of levels of life that we have to build for ourselves, okay? You need to emote. We know that now. We've got that up there. There are a wide range of emotions. We're going to have stories whereby we emote. We'll start there, okay? I'm going to give you the 4 levels now of game. The first level is you versus the girl. You are against that girl. It feels like a fight almost. You don't know the girl. She's gorgeous. We'll presume she's a 10 or a 9 or an 8. If you're so inclined to rating women, which, I'd never do, personally. But if you were so inclined to rating them, the way you treat a 7 is different than the way you treat a 10. It is not harder to get a 10. A true godforsaken 10. It's only different. It takes just as long, just as much time. My personal feeling is, because I had low self-esteem and I thought I didn't deserve a 10 or something like that, is fuck that. Throw that out of your head. You can have a low self-esteem. I give you permission, okay? Who's had a 10? Who's had a bona fide 10 in your life? A girl who's a 10. I've had a supermodel. Who's had a 10? Who's had a 9? That I would rate a 9. 8.9? You're like, she's pretty hot. Who's had an 8? Yeah, that's mates. Lovely. 8s are good, man. That's a nice looking girl. Who's had 7s? Right? Okay. Who's had 6s? Who's had 5s? We're getting to know each other. Oh, shit, man. Who's had 4s? Yeah. Who's had 3s? Who's had 2s? I've never had a 1, man. I'm putting my hand down. All right. When we play this game, and man, even the word game, I hate to even say it that way, because I'm a heartfelt person. I love women. I love people, Some people are fucking assholes. And that's why we got to protect ourselves and build good social alliances to say fuck you to them, take care of ourselves, right? But some people are really great people. I don't mean to judge these girls from 1 to 10, but you know what we're doing? We're judging her replication value, right? A woman's replication value is very important to us. Well, it turns out that a woman, her attraction mechanism is not calibrated to our replication value. Any dick will do.